Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Wow, it has been quite a while. Let me explain really quickly before we get into this. As you may have noticed, I kind of stopped doing videos for a little while because quarantine. Well, for two reasons. Number one, quarantine, and a lot has changed in my area. Okay, if you have any remote interest in what's going on in my personal life, please let me know because I'd love to chat with you guys. I think you guys are like my friends and it's fun. I've been doing a lot of growth and I've also let myself go, which sounds like a bad thing and usually it is, but for me, if you sorry, that was my ringtone. But if you know anything about me, you know that I'm a workaholic. This was like the perfect opportunity for me to just like not give a fuck about anything for like 6 months and just do whatever the hell I wanted. And that's exactly what I did. That's the first reason. The second reason why I stopped doing the videos is because I was running out of ideas because it was quarantine and I was just feeling like hopeless. I didn't even know if we were gonna go back to school. It just didn't serve me. But for some reason, I got the motivation to film a couple videos. I don't know how regular these are gonna be because again, I'm just gonna do it as I feel like it. And here's gonna be my shameless plug for YouTube. Please subscribe because it really does help me out. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm making absolutely no fucking money and I'm like $30,000 in debt. We're just getting real here, okay? Thanks for your support and for patiently waiting. And as for this video, I'm back. So nice to see ya. So today we are going to be doing a highly requested video, which is basically just telling story times about different parties. So I have a few stories I'm going to tell you about today. This could be a multiple bitch, we get it part series. So if you like this, let me know and I can do a part 2. So let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna change the names of people that are in these stories for their privacy's sake. I am also literally not friends with pretty much anybody that are in these stories, except for a few. So that's another reason why I'm changing their names, and if they happen to see this, well then that's going to be very unfortunate for me. So I'm just going to tell you guys I'm going to completely expose myself and hopefully my future employers are not here, but if they are, this is me. This is the real, the whole me. So the first story I'm going to tell is about my very first night out freshman year. This can be a very tragic event for all freshmen. So I went out with my roommate Fiona, which I'm still friends with Fiona, love you girl, and we decided to go to one of my brother's friends' houses. So my brother actually graduated from WVU the year before I got there, but we had like mutual friends because I would go and visit him and stuff. So we decided to go to their friend's house to like pregame, and it was super fun seeing all these people I knew, and I was like, wow, I like belong here, like I have friends. I also accidentally kicked their cat, which both of their cats, I don't know how it happened, okay? I had really not even drank that much. If you're watching this, I apologize, but hopefully they don't know who this is. Then we saw this random house. This is in Sunnyside. So Sunnyside is like a big, large area of single family homes that students live in. I live in Sunnyside right now. This, where I am right now in this little jungle, is Sunnyside. We walked down the hill and saw this house that people were going in the back door. And back in the day, you could literally walk into anybody's house at WVU, especially in Sunnyside, and it was not considered weird. We saw this basement in this house. We decided to go in, check it out. I had no clue whose house this was. We walk in and there is a full basketball court. It was like a big garage, I guess. And then you walked up these stairs and they had built this like bar. They had all this lighting, they had all the music. It was so cool. There were so many foreign people, which if you know me, I studied abroad and it's my only personality trait. I love people from all different places and countries. I was like freaking out because I saw these like English, like Australian, just all these different people from all over the place. We like went outside and talked, and I would just like talk to them about like the world, I don't know. And the other thing was it was fully carpeted, which would have been gross but okay, but the problem was there were like 2 inches of water like on every area of the floor. I don't know what it was from, and I genuinely do not want to know, but it was a really memorable experience because it was so much fun. I will never ever be able to find that house again. I have no clue where it is. And then we just ended the night with all 100, 200 of us singing Country Roads. and it was great. That was my first day here at WVU as a freshman. That's a pretty tame story, so now we're getting to the good stuff. Okay, so the second story is kind of like a very repetitive story. This happened many times my freshman year, but I just wanted to tell you guys about how Thirsty Thursday works around here and how me and my friends went about it. So this is how a Thirsty Thursday would usually go. If you don't know what a Thirsty Thursday is, it's basically just a Thursday, but everybody goes out and parties and goes to the club. This is all pre-COVID. I hope you guys know that or inferring that. Routine starts at 4 o'clock and you're just finishing your homework and you're rushing through it and you start getting ready around 5 o'clock. You're doing your makeup. This could take a couple hours, just depends on the type of person you are, but you know, getting ready takes time, as we all know. At about 6 o'clock, you go in your full face of makeup, but a full sweatsuit to the mountain lair. And so I would go there with my friends. We would get which is a sandwich place that is still there, and we'd bring it back to the dorm. I'd eat half of it before we went out, and then I would save half of it and put it in my mini fridge for when we came back home and I wanted a drunk food snack, because that happened every time. After we ate our sandwich, we would go down to the first floor. I lived in Dasman, aka Dirty D. We would go to those ratchet vending machines and get a Powerade or a soda or some kind of bottled beverage to go with our alcohol of choice that night. So then about 7 o'clock rolls around and we turn on the music and we get dressed in our extremely way over the top outfits for Annex, aka the Slut Dungeon. And we just started pounding shots of whatever we were drinking. For me, it was always plain New Amsterdam. I will never drink that again. And then 8 o'clock rolls around. So 8 o'clock sharp was the exact time that we had to leave for the club. Now, that is a very early for WVU and pretty much any kind of going out situation in general. Usually people go out like 10, 11, maybe later, but at Annex, ladies admission was free only until 11 p.m. or until they reach capacity. So we would literally get there at 8 o'clock sharp. The line would already be wrapped around the freaking building and we would stand there for a couple hours and hope to God that we get in before 11. Yes, we would wait like multiple hours to get into the Slut Dungeon. I don't know why. So we would do that, but what we would do to keep ourselves like, you know, vibing until we get in is we would bring Rotas. If you don't know what a Rota is, it's where you take your soda, you put your juice of choice into it, and then you bring it with you and it just looks like you're drinking a soda. So we would walk down, well actually we would run down High Street. If it was in the winter time, it would literally be like 2 degrees out and we would not put on coats. Like there's no place to put a coat in Annex unless you want a coat check, which, you know, we're broke, we don't want to do that. So we'd literally just sprint down the hill and pray that we didn't get frostbite. We would sit there, drink our Rotas until we finally got in, and if we did not finish and if there's anything that we couldn't bring into the club, like if we did decide to bring a coat, we'd find a crevice. And I've talked about crevices before in my previous videos, but basically you find like a little indent in the side of a building, like where a door to maybe the apartments are or something like that, and we would just shove all of our shit into a little corner and pray that the crackies don't touch it. I would say pretty much 100% of the time it worked. Also, we would never forget our little Ziploc baggie of quarters, because when you go to Annex, if you want a drink, they're all 25-cent mixed drinks on Thursdays. So you just bring a little bag of quarters and then you go find a boy that's 21 or that got in as a 21-year-old and you ask them to buy you drinks with your little baggie. It is the most, saying that it like out loud is the most ratchet thing. Like I cannot even believe that I did that like for an entire year. But yeah, that's those were Thirsty Thursdays, and they were always like, accompanied by wild twists and turns. So let's go on to the next story, shall we? So this is a doozy. This is the very first game day that I had at WVU as a freshman. So I'm just gonna take you through this whole thing. It's pretty wild, and again, I'm going to substitute names to protect people's privacy because I'm not friends with them anymore. First of all, we woke up at 6 in the morning, 6 o'clock sharp, set our alarms, jumped out of bed. It's game day, baby. We're getting excited. We start doing our makeup. Also, noon games are the worst thing to ever happen to this university. I don't understand why they still do noon games. They suck, because it's just a tragedy that you have to get up at 6 a.m. and start drinking by 9. I don't know why, but you know, it doesn't stop us, so that's all I'm saying. So we got up at 6 a.m. We did our makeup. We would put on our mangled DIY WVU cutout shirt, and we would get ready for the day. This particular one, I think we made Jello shots, but even that was just not a vibe at 7 in the morning. I would not recommend to anybody. So then we try to get to the game. Usually for the game, the Ubers are so expensive, so you either have to walk all the way to the stadium, which from Dasman, which is where I lived, is like a good 2-3 mile walk, or you'd hitchhike. I think some of my friends hitchhiked. I don't even remember how I got there, to be honest. I really could not tell you. We went and had breakfast at the Evansdale Cafe, got some Krispy Kreme donuts, but we didn't eat too much because we wanted to make sure we were feeling the juice later on in the day, you know what I'm saying? And we were so excited. I was, you know, walking to the stadium carrying my plastic Kroger grocery bag full of water bottles filled with vodka and Powerades that were all lukewarm and disgusting. It was the time of my life, really, can't you tell? So when we got to the tailgate, one thing to know about tailgates is that it's not that fun unless you know somebody that has a tailgate that you can like hang out at. Otherwise, you're just walking up and down the aisles and you can't really stop anywhere because you don't know anybody. If you're completely sober like we were, it just was not fun. So we stopped and we finally found a frat tailgate. There's just a whole bunch of people and it was obviously open, so we just hung out there. That was the first mistake of the day. Had a great time, blah, blah, blah. Drinking, you know the vibes. Unfortunately, me and most of my friends did not even make it into the game. We just could not give less of a shit about it. It's important to note that at this time we had this like really strange obsession with hot dogs and cigs, okay? I know that's gross. I am not even gonna apologize for anything that I did freshman year because I just, you know. So we were walking around and we found this like old man, like a dad. We would just like go around and like randomly ask people if they had cigs or hot dogs. And he was like, yeah, we got cigs and hot dogs. And we were like, well, shit, great. So we followed him to his tailgate where there were a whole bunch of other dads as well. We just started hanging out with them. We mooched off of them, their cigs. And I just remember like
pushing around some onions on a grill for some hot dogs, and then they were passing around some Jaeger, and people were like taking each other out of the bottle. I don't know why you ever do that. I will never drink Jaeger again. That shit is disgusting. Okay, I'm sorry, but
gross. So the dads were telling us how they had a boat on Cheat Lake and how we could Uber there and meet them and they would take us on their boat. And I was like, you know, drunk me was like,
hell yes, like I would love to. Thank you very much.
I need to go get my swimsuit and I will be there in a jiffy. And my friends are like, I don't know if you're gonna do that, and I like, that's probably not a good idea. So I Ubered home and tried to get my swimsuit. Meanwhile, my friends were on a boat at Cheat Lake. So this one friend that I had, she is literally crazy, but like in a good way. I just saw Snapchats of her like putting on her captain hat and like driving their boat and like drinking Tito's or something. And I was like, this is like the most badass, like the most legendary, like first game day situation ever. I was not there, remember, but then they told me later that she was like making out with this one dad, and while she's doing it she stole a nug of weed out of his pants pocket and then just left after that. And I was like, that shit is so funny. Like, oh my god. While that's happening, I'm still back at the dorms thinking I'm getting my swimsuit, thinking I'm going to Cheat Lake. Luckily, my friends were like watching me because I was just on one. I tried to get my swimsuit and then I was like running down the hallway. I ran into this random person's room and tried to jump out the window, which sounds very strange, but I can explain, okay? I had this friend that I really liked and he had this balcony outside of his window. It wasn't a balcony, but it was like the roof of like a building. So we called it the balcony. And so I like was trying to jump out this random ass guy that I do not know's window. So luckily my friends were there and everyone was like, bitch, you need to get inside. But like I said, in my defense, I thought there was something there to catch me, but there wasn't. And after that, I just took a nap. I think that's about it. Yeah, that was the story of my first tailgate. I did not make it into the game and I will never drink Jaeger again. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. My camera is dying, but thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. I'll definitely film a part 2 or 3 or whatever, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I promise I will be around more often, but thank you for sticking with me, and if you have any video requests, be sure to let me know. And that's it. Thank you so much. Subscribe, please. Okay, I'm gonna go eat Chipotle. Bye.